Yeah, okay. We shall start with our arithmetic mean using both the methods, that is the direct method and the assumed mean method. Is the board clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So here the class intervals were given, the frequency was given. I found the class mark. I am repeating how to find the class mark. Class mark is the midpoint of your class interval. So every class interval, when you take its midpoint, what you get is called the class mark. And this we call as the xi values. So when you want to get the midpoint of the class interval, what should you do? Add both the lower limit and the upper limit and divide with 2. So it is 10 plus 25, that is 35 divided by 2, which is 17.5. Alright. Similarly, go to the second class interval, it is 25 to 40. So 25 plus 40, which is 65 divided by 2, which will be 32.5. Alright. Now the difference between the first class mark and the second class mark will be exactly the difference between the upper and the lower limits of the class intervals. You can see the class intervals have a gap of 15 each. 10 to 25 means the difference is 15. The same difference will be maintained in the class marks also. So when you get the first class mark, you don't even have to go and calculate the second class mark. To this add 15. 17.5 plus 15 will give you 32.5. 32.5 plus 15 is 47.5. 47.5 plus 15 is 62.5, etc. So you can get the class marks correspondingly. Any way you can do, please do it. Either take the average of the upper and the lower limit to get the class mark, or once you get the first class mark, the succeeding class marks will be addition of the class size to the successive class marks. Alright, class
Ma'am,
size
Kushiji
here is
is waiting.
50 because the difference between the upper and the lower
Ma'am,
limit is the class size. All these are technical terms that you should remember. What is class mark? What is class size? What is the class interval? A class interval will have two values. One is the class size, difference between the upper and the lower limit. The second one is the class mark, which is the average of the upper and the lower limit of a given class interval. Now, these class marks are absolutely required to find the xi values which have to be multiplied with the corresponding frequencies to be substituted in the formula for the direct method. So when you want to find the
ma'am,
arithmetic mean using the direct method, the formula should be known to you. It is x bar is equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. What is sigma fi xi? All the fi xi values, when you sum them up, sigma means summation. So when you sum up all the, just give me 2 minutes, 10 people are waiting.
Ma'am, Sinchana is waiting.
Yes, I have admitted. Okay, so sigma fi ui means sigma means the summation. So sigma fi xi means it is the summation of all the fi xi values. So these are my xi fi values. What do you mean by xi fi? It is the product of the corresponding frequency and the class mark. Alright, that's why I put these arrows to understand that I have multiplied the frequencies with the corresponding class mark. Okay, so the first one, this you should have done yesterday. I told you have to find out the fi xis and add them to get the sigma fi xi. I hope you have done, otherwise at least now please do it. Statistics, two things are very important, children. The presentation, the way you put your tabulation should be clear without any scratching. You should totally represent your formula clearly, substitute the values and simplify. You will get all the marks. This arithmetic, that is addition, multiplication or division, nobody can be helping you now in the 10th standard. You should have mastered it by now. Otherwise, you are inviting trouble for yourself. All right. Okay. So we have calculated the sigma, fi xi. 2 into 17.5 is 35. 3 into 32.5 is 97.5. Directly, if you are not able to multiply it in the rough or working column and then get back the value. See how I have arranged all the ones, the tens and the hundreds and the decimal part. Arrange it properly one below another according to the place value so that your addition will happen automatically without any trouble. All right. So this presentation skill is also very important when you do statistics. Arrangement according to place values is very important. See, everywhere I have written it clearly to show you this is what is expected of you also. So once the product is done, that is 7 into 47.5, I have correspondingly multiplied. You also can multiply, you must definitely get these values. All right. Now when I add all these values, my sigma fi xi happens to become 1860.0. All right, even the decimal I'm showing. Then I know my sigma fi. That means when I add all the frequencies, I get 30. That is your summation of the frequencies. According to my formula for the arithmetic mean, I know arithmetic mean is equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. So sigma fi xi, the value is 860 divided by sigma fi is 30. Substitute it, it is a multiple of 3. So I get my arithmetic mean as 62. So this is the first method, which is called the direct method. You are simply finding the class marks, multiplying it with the frequency to get the corresponding FIXI, add all the FIXIs, add all the frequencies, divide FIXI value with FI to get the arithmetic mean. I hope it is clear. Is there any doubt? Direct questions on this is coming, whether it is the midterm exam or it is your board exam. You can expect this much of work. We are only eligible for a 2 or a 3 marks because statistics is not at all happening in the section D. That is 5 marks question. I am not seeing any statistics in any of the sample paper. So all this eligible for maximum a 2 or a 3. So please convince yourself you have to put all this into your pocket. We can't afford to lose these marks. Any doubt in the direct method? No doubt? Clear? So when I give you a problem to find the arithmetic mean of a distribution, nobody is going to specify do it using direct method or the assumed mean method. Now you have to select the method where you are confident and you will be able to complete. Now why I am suggesting the assumed mean method is the calculation part gets reduced in the assumed mean method. When I do it now, you will understand. Now, the second method, I need another column which is called the deviations, DIs. So, what is this deviation is first what you have to understand. So, to get the deviation of the class marks, we are going to deviate from the class marks. So, these are my class marks that I have for this distribution. Now, one of the values of the class mark, I am going to assume as the mean itself. So, somewhere the central value, somewhere in the middlemost value you can select. So in these values, this seems to be the center. So it will be circled and written as assumed mean. I am assuming that 47.5 is the mean of this given distribution. Now second, now you have to understand what is a deviation. Now a deviation means how much the class mark. This is the first class mark, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Out of these class marks, one of the class mark I have assumed as the mean itself. Now I have to find out how much the remaining class marks are deviating from the assumed mean. So that is what I call as the deviation. Di is equal to xi minus the assumed mean. So what is my xi in the first case? It is 17.5. So it will be 17.5 minus 47.5. What will you get when you subtract 47.5 from 17.5?
Negative 30.
Yes, you will get a negative 30. So that is your first DI value. Now go to the second one. The XI is 32.5. From this you are subtracting 47.5. What is 32.5 minus 47.5?
15. Negative 15.
Please be careful. You are subtracting a larger number from a smaller number. Now in the third value, the xi itself is 47.5. Assumed mean also is 47.5. So what will be the difference here? Xi is 47.
Zero.
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 So always remember the DI value for the corresponding assumed mean will be 0. That means the assumed mean is dividing the entire distribution into two parts. One part above and one part below. Now come to 62.5. 62.5 minus 47.5. What's the value?
Positive 15.
Yes, it will be
Positive 15.
50. Next, 77.5 minus 47.5.
30.
Yeah, it will be a
30.
Positive 30.
92.5 minus 47.5.
45.
Yes, it will be a positive 45.
Positive
These
45.
are my corresponding deviations from the assumed mean. Alright, these class marks are deviating so much from the assumed mean I have taken. Now the next column that I have to create is the product of the corresponding frequency and the DI. You should be very careful. Some of you have the tendency of multiplying xi with DI. That's why I'm putting this arrow mark and showing you. You should clearly know you are correspondingly finding the product between the DIs with the Fi. Fi DI, product of frequency with the corresponding deviation. So what will be the first one here? Negative 30 into 2.
Negative 60.
Yes, negative
Negative 60.
15, negative 15 into 3. Negative 45.
Negative 45.
7, 0. 6 into 50. 90.
90.
6
90.
into 30.
180.
Am I covering the
180.
30? 180. That is a positive 180. 45 into 6.
270.
Yes.
270.
70. So, in this column, you have negative numbers as well as positive numbers, right? So, you put the negatives together and the positives together first. What is negative 60 and negative 45 summing up to?
Negative 105.
Yes, it will be negative 1.
Negative 105.
Here, what is the sum? 90, 180 and 270?
540.
540.
Positive 540.
540. So you have a negative 105 and a positive 540. What is the difference now? That will be your sigma FIDI. Positive 540, negative 105. Subtract.
435.
Yes, positive 435. So, like we have the FIXI values, we have the FIDI values also. You summed up the XI, FI, now you are summing up the FIDI. Can you see the difference? How much work is reduced? You were having so many decimals, you were adding to get a 4-digit number. Here you have just ended up with a smaller number. This is the advantage of using the assume mean method. Now the formula to find the mean using the assume mean method. How long these people will be getting admitted, I don't know. Okay, so the formula for the arithmetic mean using the assume mean method is x bar equals assume mean, that is A, plus sigma FIDI divided by sigma FI. Now go and substitute the values here. What was the assumed mean I have taken? Please always encircle the assumed mean in your distribution itself. As an examiner, my first tick will come here. You have done the assumed mean, because every value of DI depends on the assumed mean. If you are not specifying this in your distribution, we will not know what you have subtracted. So please show it in the distribution like this. This is why I am taking so much time to show you all this. These arrow marks, if you want, put it in the pencil so that you don't go wrong, because there is a very common tendency. Pakka iro column yavado adralle multiply ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ. ಇದು ಒಂದು habit. I have seen it across various batches. You are in such a great hurry that instead of multiplying DI with Fi, you will be multiplying these two columns and these two columns, because they fall very next to each other. You don't even think to understand what you're multiplying. Okay, now substitute the values. 47.5 plus what is your sigma Fi DI? It is 435 divided by sigma Fi is 30. Alright, so now you go simplify this, you will get the value as 47.5 plus 14.5.
14.5.
Yes, 47.5 plus
14.5.
So that comes out to be 62 again.
62.
Do you think you should get the same answer
62.
or two different answers?
Ma'am, same
Same
answer.
Why do you think you should get
Same answer.
Ma'am, it is the same.
Arithmetic.
because the distribution
Arithmetic.
is the same. Only thing you have done the arithmetic mean using different methods. That's all. Now you tell me which method would you choose if you are asked to find the arithmetic mean of a given distribution.
Assume mean method.
Assume mean.
Okay, assume mean method, many of you would feel that it is easy because my calculations are reduced to a great extent.
Assumed mean.
Also, my formula is very nice to substitute and get it. But nobody is going to stop you if you do the direct method. So choose a method appropriate for you and please do it because nowhere in the board exam or in the any other exam you are going to be specified about the method. The question will be find the arithmetic mean of the distribution. So you first confirm which is the formula you know properly, which is the method you have understood properly and only do that one. Is that clear? Now we will go to the second variety of problems in the arithmetic mean. See, directly you may be asked to find the arithmetic mean of a given distribution. This is one variety of problem in the arithmetic mean. There is another major variety. One of these may come. You may be given the mean of the distribution itself and you will be asked to find one of the missing frequency. Can you see the second distribution that I have on the board? This is the distribution given to you. Amongst the frequencies, one of them is marked as f itself. That means it is a variable which is not known to you. In this problem, the mean of the distribution is already given to you. You have to find out this missing frequency. This missing frequency problem will happen across the mean, median, and the mode. So in all the three central tendencies, you may get a direct problem to find the mean, median, or mode, or you may be given the mean, the median, and the mode. You will be asked to find the missing frequency. So today we will see the second variety also quickly because I am expecting this also may happen for a 3 marks because missing frequency mostly either it is given as an internal choice or in one of the papers it is there in one of the sets. So it is compulsory that we know both the varieties. We know how to find the mean for a given distribution, or if the mean is given, we know how to find out the missing frequency. Now this is the problem 3 in your exercise 14.1 which I have taken. So I'll just read the problem, you'll understand why I'm saying it is the second major variety. I hope you're looking at the textbook at page number 270. The following distribution shows the daily pocket allowance of children of a locality. The mean pocket allowance. The mean pocket allowance means the X bar is given. The mean pocket means arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean of the distribution is given as rupees 18. And they are asking you to find the missing frequency F. Now, how do we deal with this problem is what we are going to understand now. One of these may come in the midterm also, or it may be an internal choice. They may be two different problems, anything, but you should know both of them. All right. So now we will see how we can tackle this problem. So I know the mean is given to me. I have to find the missing frequency. So if the mean is given to me, I know I have the left-hand side given to me here. In this problem, when I have the mean given, something in the right-hand side is what is missing, that is the frequency. So we'll follow the same method. I am going to do the mean using the assumed mean method. So which are the two columns I have to prepare? They would have given me the class interval and the frequency. Which are the other two columns that I have to prepare? Which are the other two
Class
columns?
mark and deviation.
So immediately what I have to prepare? The class marks. What is the class mark?
Upper limit plus lower limit by 2.
Yes, it is the average of the upper and the lower limit of the class. So add 11 plus 13 divided by 2, 24 by 2. 12. Why are you so silent? Are you silent?
12.
Similarly, next one. What is the class size for this class interval? What is the
2.
class size?
2.
2.
get the next xi? To the previous xi,
Add 2.
add 2. So what will
Plus
Add
2.
2.
then? What is the next xi?
16.
16.
16.
18, 20, 22, 24. Correct? I got all the xi values. Either add and divide with 2 or get the first xi and successfully add the class size. Class size ಅಂದ್ರೆ difference between the upper and the lower limit. ಇದು ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ difference 2 ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. So ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸತಿ 2 add ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. Previous problem ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ? We have seen that the class size is 15. So when I got the first class mark, I added 15 to get the next class mark. So same way. Otherwise, you take the average and find out. No, anyway you can understand, please do it. But I want the correct xi values to be reported. Next, what's the next step that I have to do?
Deviation.
No, for the deviation you need something. No, to find the deviation you need
Assume mean.
di.
Assume mean. Assume mean.
So what is that you have to decide now?
Assume mean. Assume mean.
You have to decide on a assume mean from which value? From the frequency or from the xi?
Class mark. Class mark xi.
From the xi values, please be careful. This is another common mistake. Some of us will be searching for assume mean in the frequency column. The xi column ali yavado ಒಂದು value anna you have to mark as assume mean. Try to always somewhere come to the center of the distribution. So which one shall we take? Either 16 or 18?
18.
18.
18.
There are 3 entries above and 3 entries below. Now you can start finding the di values. It is xi minus a. So 12 minus 18. 12 minus 18. 12 minus 18.
Negative 6.
Negative 6.
6.
14 minus 18.
Negative 4.
Yes.
Negative 4.
16 minus 18.
Negative 2.
Negative 2.
18 minus 18.
0.
0.
0.
20 minus 18.
2.
2.
2.
Minus 18.
4.
4.
4.
6.
6.
6.
So you got your di values. What's the next step?
Multiply f and d.
What is
By
that?
di.
Multiply the
F and D.
frequencies with the di. Be very careful. But there is every tendency that you will multiply the xi with the di. Because those two columns are nearby, I am multiplying. Don't do that, please. Draw that with a pencil so it will guide you correctly where you have to reach. Okay, now start multiplying. 7 into negative 6.
42.
Negative 42.
Negative 42.
Be very, very specific about the symbols. 6 into negative 4.
Negative 24.
3 into negative 2. Negative 18.
Negative 8.
0. Sorry,
0.
0. 0. Now what will happen to the next one?
2f.
2 into f. Don't worry, just write it as 2f. Because one is you can't multiply 2 into f is 2f. 5 into 4.
20.
20.
6. 24. Now what you have to do? Add all the negative values and add all the positive values. How much are you getting? 2f you keep it as it is because we can't add it to anything. Come on. Add all the negative values and tell me how much it is amounting to. 42, 24 and 18. Negative
84.
84.
Negative 84.
negative 84. This one positive 20 and positive 24.
44 plus 2f.
44 plus 2f.
84. When you add, what should you get?
44 plus 2f.
Sigma fi di is equal to 2f is as it is you're taking. Negative 84 positive 44 will be negative 40. So your sigma fi di is 2f minus 40. Got it? 2f I can't add, so I'm keeping it as it is. The negative and the positive after the final subtraction, I get it as negative 40. So I have written it as sigma fi di is 2f minus 40. What about sigma fi? Add all the values of the
44 plus F.
Leave the f, we can write it as plus f. Add the remaining numbers 7, 6, 9, 13, 5, and 4.
44.
Yes, it will be 44 plus f. Now go to your formula for x bar. Using the assumed mean method, x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. Why am I writing the formula every time? Because there is a value point for that also. Here you will get half mark. You don't do any missing frequency. If you are able to recall the formula, you get half a mark. If you know the assumed mean is means written properly, another half mark. So even if it is a 3 marks problem, getting 1 or 1.5 is very easy. Even if you make mistakes in the calculation, this will give you some half or 1 mark. At least that we should not allow, or we should not lose it at all. So now substitute x bar, the value is given as 18. So the left hand side is 18. All right. Now assume mean. What is the assume mean I have taken? It is 18. Correct. Plus sigma fi di is 2f minus 40 divided by, what is sigma fi? It is 44 plus f. So this is a simple equation that you require to solve. Do you think you will be able to do this? First transpose
Yes,
the
ma'am.
18 here. So 18 minus 18, you are going to get a 0 on the left hand side. That is equal to 2f minus 40 divided by 44 plus f. Correct? I have transposed
Yes,
the
ma'am.
18 to the left hand side. So 18 minus 18 has become 0. On the right hand side, you have a fraction like this. So a fraction is equal to 0 means when you cross multiply like this, 0 into 44 plus f will become 0 again. So 0 equals 2f minus 40 or 2f equals 40, which means my f is equal to 20. That's all. I could find the missing frequency now. Is the problem clear? If you have any doubt, you can ask. This is one variety of problem. Definitely it is going to be asked. If you are not getting a direct problem on assumed mean, you may get one on missing frequency. If you have any doubt, you can always ask. So one of these or both of these varieties I may include in the midterm. Did you go and look at the blueprint? I'm sharing the blueprint here. This is the blueprint which I have shared in the WhatsApp also. Let us see what is given for statistics. Can you see? Now this part A, which has got two sections, section 1 and section 2. Section 1 is fully objective. The section 2, I hope you understand, it is context-based question. Right? So I have chosen one from quadratic, one from coordinate, one from areas related to circles, and one in statistics. Okay, so in each of these context based questions you will have 5 subdivisions, out of which you require to answer only 4 of them. So that is the choice. Please go through the sample paper, you will understand what I am telling. Now you understand that by the blueprint, one context based question I am going to pick from quadratic equation. Something related to graphs, maybe the graph of a quadratic equation, maybe I'm just thinking like that. Coordinate geometry, yes, there are so many options to choose a context based question, because any position of any object with respect to a Cartesian plane can generate n number of questions. Then areas related to circles, I may give you a figure where there is a combination maybe of circles with some other smaller objects where I can generate questions. Statistics also, it is very simple, because I can give you a distribution and ask you lots of questions on that. Because every day when I'm doing the distribution, I'm speaking lots of content. If you are attentive, it is very easy to score in that. I hope you have made a note of this blueprint. Any doubts regarding this? You can always get back to me tomorrow also, because we didn't find time to go through it leisurely. Please go through it leisurely, because this will guide you for your preparation. This is the reason I take the pain to completely prepare the blueprint and send it to you. All right. So I think we will stop here, because tomorrow I don't want to take up median today. Every day only one. Today we are done with the arithmetic mean. Tomorrow we will take up the median, and day after tomorrow we'll complete the mode. So all three are included for the midterm exams. Now there are so many problems in the exercise. Maybe we will take it up after the midterm. Now at least we know, given a distribution, how to find the arithmetic mean. So more practice you can do on your own. You can try the exercise problems and see how conveniently you are able to find all the columns according to your method that you recall the formulae and substitute. Remember, arithmetic mean, we have learned two major categories of problems. The distribution is given and the arithmetic mean is asked. Second one, the arithmetic mean will be given and you will be asked to find one of the missing frequency. Clear? So I think we will stop here. If you have any doubts, quickly you can ask me. I'm almost running short of time. I have another 2 minutes. Yes, I shall wait. Yes.
That negative 84 and 44.
I can't hear you. There is so much of disturbance. Sorry. Be a little louder.
Negative 84 and 44. We add or subtract?
Oh my God, such a basic question. When two integers are having the same symbol, you must add and put the same symbol. If they are having different symbols, you have to subtract and put the symbol of the larger integer. All right? Yeah, anything else? Okay, today you can take your time, take a new distribution from the exercise and try finding the arithmetic mean. You will gain confidence only if you practice. It was very simple today because everything I have done. You have simply only seen me do. Now you have to take a new problem, try to create the columns that you want. If you are doing the direct method, only the FIXI is enough. You are going to choose the assumed mean method, then your FIDI column should be ready. So first decide the method you want to do. Accordingly, prepare the tabular column. Substitute the correct or the appropriate formula. Substitute and simplify. Yeah. Similarly, take a new problem in missing frequency. The arithmetic mean is given. You know which method you are going to follow. Prepare the columns accordingly and then substitute the appropriate or recall the appropriate formula. Substitute the values, simplify. All right. I hope this is clear. That's why I'm leaving you with the mean alone today. Tomorrow I will take up the median. All right. So it is for you to practice the problems in the exercise. Don't expect me to do all the problems one by one here. It is impossible because each exercise is running to some 8 to 9 problems. And these are problems for practice. Teacher is not expected to do. Student is expected to do. Maybe you can't do all of them before the exam. Never mind. If you know how to do it, any distribution given, you should know how to handle. If you have enough time, then please do. If you think you can complete everything, very good. Keep it up. That should be the bigger you should have. I should go and do everything. Let me see what I'm not able to. Or if you think I can do only one problem per day or 2-3 problems per day, depending on your speed and determination, please practice. Without practice, it will not happen. All right. And look at the way I have presented my distribution. This should be your role model. This is how I expect it in the midterm exams also. Clearly, if you don't have the horizontal lines, please draw them. All right. And see that every column and every row is neatly arranged. If you irritate the examiner by having a very clumsy presentation, you will lose marks. So please make it a point that your presentation is also very, very neatly done. All right. So we will meet tomorrow for the median. I think we have the first period class tomorrow. So don't be late. 9:20 only the class is starting. So please get admitted maximum by 9:25 at least. because you are wasting my time by asking me to admit again and again. All right. Okay then. Bye.